Before we get into today's show, Giants now host Marshall Green. Bet that we could not get past his monthly high on likes. That's 1,803 is what he's got. So 1,804 is the number to beat on today's show. Let's crush it. And once again, make sure it's F Marshy once and for all. Like that video if you haven't already, please, and thank you. The NFL franchise tag window opens on February 18th. That is Tuesday. And then runs until 4 p.m. Eastern on Monday, March 4th. So the question is, and it's what ESPN's Todd Archer looked at, will the Cowboys end up using the tag? Archer wrote that defensive lineman Osa Odighizuwa is the only candidate the Cowboys would consider, but a projected cost of more than $23 million against the tag makes that probably just too pricey. However, that does not mean the Cowboys won't make a bid to re-sign him. The other tackle is important in Matt Eberflus's new scheme. Osa posted career highs in sacks and, most importantly, pressures last season, and is the type of player the Cowboys want to build with. A third-round draft pick, immediate starter, over-the-top worker, and excellent in the locker room. The money, of course, is the big factor here. And I think Osa's underlying performances, not just the raw box score stats, if that makes sense, do indicate a player on the rise who has not yet hit his ceiling, who does fit very well with the Matt Eberflus system, and plays a position that the Cowboys have no other reliable options right now, truly reliable options on the defensive line. Even if the Cowboys retain Osa Odighizuwa, I am looking at a situation where I want to have multiple players added to this defensive line room. I don't want to just have Osa, Mozzie, and a bunch of August additions. I want to add 2 or 3 more, depending on what you do with Osa. Now, the money for Osa is a $23.47 million franchise tag. It's a lot of money. There's no flexibility with how that counts on your salary cap, barring an extension, and it's probably not enough wiggle room. That becomes one of your highest cap hits by a pretty comfortable margin there. Other players of note, Eric Kendricks is at $27 million because the NFL is stupid, and linebackers count as like TJ Watt factors into the linebacker franchise tag number. 2025, guys, come on. By the way, Chauncey Golston is just a bit over Osa at 24 and change. Rico Dowdle's at 13.63. I love Jordan Lewis, but I'm not paying him $20 million. Even the punter, Brian Anger, at 6.56 is probably just a little bit too much. So I don't want to use the franchise tag on Osa, even though I would like to try to extend him, and if not, sign 2 other players in free agency. I just think the franchise tag cost is prohibitive for what the Cowboys have set up this offseason. What do you think, though? Would you use the franchise tag on Osa or someone else? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Y for yes or N for no. If the outcome's here on YouTube, take advantage. Head down there and go vote. Now, of note, 2 players have their contracts void today per Over the Cap. It is DeMarcus Lawrence, the defensive end, and Brandin Cooks, the wide receiver. So, again, you can't really use the franchise tag if the contract's void before the franchise tag window opens. That's not an accident there. Both of them will hit free agency as expected, by the way. This is not a surprise. This is not even uncommon with the way the NFL operates with void contracts becoming more and more popular. In fact, over 30 different players have this happening today. They are, by the way, still eligible for comp picks. So if they leave in free agency and sign somewhere else, you can still get a comp pick. It almost operates in the end as we're not going to have to pay extra money for, in the time being, we push some of that money off, and in the future we'll break those numbers down a little bit. And it allows the players to not have to jeopardize a franchise tag. It's normally veteran players who end up who are worth some decent chunk of change, who have these void years here. So we'll break down the futures overall of Tank Lawrence and Brandin Cooks. But first, today's show is made possible by the Tushy Bidet. Look, I am a dude. I spend a decent amount of time on the throne, and that's why I like Tushy. It is the modern bidet attachment that instantly transforms your bathroom habits and butt health for life. Instead of wiping yourself raw with toilet paper, Tushy gently removes 99% of bacteria while protecting your natural skin barrier thanks to one natural ingredient. It's fresh water. Tushy also has 2 new ultra-sleek bidet seats, Wave and Oasis, with front and rear wash to clean all those hard-to-reach places. The Tushy Wave and Oasis bidets easily attach to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing or electricity, and they have a quick release button to remove the seat for instant deep cleaning. Installation is simple. It takes 10 minutes to complete, and anyone can do it. The Tushy Bidet gives you 2-in-1 benefits, reducing the irritation and preventing micro tears with soothing water instead of scratchy toilet paper or damaging wet wipes. They also have a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. There's still time to get your ass right for life. For a limited time, you guys get 10% off your first bidet order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com/chat with promo code CHAT. Let's talk more players here. Brandin Cooks, it never worked the way we wanted it to, did it? At times, I don't think he was implemented properly by the coaching staff and the schematics. He missed a lot of time this year due to injury. He'll probably command all of 1 year, $5-ish million on the open market. But I want to keep the Brandin Cooks roster spot open because I want to have a spot that I can fill with a better, ideally more younger, impactful wide receiver. I don't want to lock myself into the same receiving core as last year. DeMarcus Lawrence, meanwhile, has always been a good defensive end. He's a great run stopper. He gets pressures. He's always been one of your better, he made a play on third down. Might not be a sack, but it was a pass breakup. He got the pressure, led to an incomplete pass. But he's also battled a lot of injuries. Makes his market very much an unknown. Now, the dead cap hits for both these players are as follows. It'll have $7.45 million in dead money from Tank Lawrence this year, $4 million from Brandin Cooks. Those guys also played the lifetimes of their contracts, and any unused salary cap space rolls over. This is what you would almost call healthy dead money. Kind of like cholesterol. There actually is good cholesterol, so my doctor tells me. That's kind of what this is. It's bad dead money when you cut them after 2 years. The Michael Gallup money is bad dead money. This dead money was all, they played lifetimes of their contracts. Now, if you wanted to keep one of them, and I think none or both are valid answers here, pick one to keep. DL for DeMarcus Lawrence, BC for Brandin Cooks. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. I also want to mention the futures of the safeties here. John Machado of The Athletic says, it's likely the Cowboys end up keeping both Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker this offseason. The Athletic kind of going through one cut candidate for each team, and Machado mentioned Wilson, saying it's more likely that Wilson remains on the team, but if there is going to be a salary cap cut in Dallas, the safety position stands out. The other option would be safety Malik Hooker, who also started every game last season. But again, the Cowboys will probably keep both. But the two starting safeties would be candidates if a cut had to happen. We'll go more in depth on both of these players, but if you have not already, hit that sub button. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. We'll have free Cowboys videos for you each and every single day right here on the channel. Normally, multiple times per day as well. Let's go to Donovan Wilson, who, again, we've mentioned both of these guys as potential cut candidates in the past, and for good reason. When Wilson is on his game, he is very impactful. He makes plays, the sack numbers, the pass breakups, the forced fumbles. When Donovan Wilson plays well, the Cowboys normally play well on defense. It's one of the role players having a big game. But he's been inconsistent. He's been streaky. He's been frustrating at times. Of note, Cowboys would save $5.85 million if they cut Donovan Wilson, $7.5 after June 1st. Not a huge difference there, but did want to make note of it. Then there's Malik Hooker, who has kind of been a little bit of the opposite of Donovan Wilson, where he's been fairly steady. There just haven't been enough big plays for me. The interception, the two interceptions were kind of just he was in the right place. Not like he's showing insane range, making a bunch of elite level plays on the football. In general, I like but don't love this safety grouping. That's why, hey, if you can save the $3.75 million by cutting Malik Hooker, I think you'd have to have consideration for that. I will also make notes, by the way. He's got a $5.5 million base salary. That will guarantee about a month from now. So if you get to that 316 date, Hooker's on the roster, he ain't going anywhere. Also got to figure out your backups. Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell. Guys I wanted to see more of last year. It's an RFA and an ERFA. They'll bring back Wanye Thomas. That's just a no-brainer. The RFA side with Bell, see what the price tag looks like, but I would guess he's back on top of that. And at least those four are good. Are they good enough for what you're paying them, though?